Okay, this unit is older than Earth itself, I know that, but he received his enhancements this week, and you probably wonder, it is worth to use my guard and support cries to him? That's why I'm making this video. So, it is worth to use Cecil's enhancements? Let's check it out. This is Cecil, his base stats. In the magic, Cecil has Libra, Cure, Cura, Dispel, Courageous, Protect, and Shell. In the abilities, Cecil has HP, Attack and Defense 20%, Defense 10%, Demon Killer, Cover. This is a passive skill that has 5% chance to protect an ally from physical damage. Sentinel, this is a upgrade from Cover that now the chance to protect an ally from physical damage is 30%, and when Sentinel activated, Cecil receives 50% of physical and magical damage mitigation. High Tide, increase the LV Gush fill rate by 100%. Focus, increase the magic and spirit of all the allies in 40% for 3 turns. Holy Light is another passive skill that increases the defense in 20% and increase the light resistance in 50%. And finally, Saintly Wall. This is the final upgrade of Cover and Sentinel. Now the chance to protect an ally from physical damage is 75%, and when Saintly Wall activated, Cecil receives 50% physical and magical damage mitigation of the damage that covers from the ally. Cecil is a full defensive unit with support skills like Focus and Courageous and Dispel. So, what equip you must put on Cecil? Let's find out now. First of all, I'm going to show you that my Cecil has HP, Defense and Spirit Pots max, also with Golem Esper, and Hagan Axe, Hero's Shield, Grand Helm, Force Armor, Vitality Apparatus, Germina's Boots, 2 HP 15%, Defense 20% and Adventurer 2. My Cecil has almost 8000 HP and 560 Defense and 195 Spirit. Really nice for free equipment. Cecil for many months has been considered a main tank, but with the requirements and difficulty of the upcoming trials, this can't be viable any longer. A good strategy that Cecil can do very good is a combination with another tank. You see, Cecil is the cover type tank, but there's another type of tank that is the Provoke type of tank. The trick is using another tank that has 100% draw rate, and with that all the attacks of the enemy targets the Provoke tank. When that happens, the other tank, in that case Cecil, activates his Saintly Wall effect and protect the other tank that has 100% draw rate, and then all the attacks will be absorbed by Cecil with the 50% damage mitigation. That strategy is much more viable than using just Cecil alone. In that case, I want to show you how Cecil works wonderful with another tank, in that case Snow. For this test, I'm going to use this Snow, also with F2P equip. And in my Cecil, I did some adjustments. I changed Germina's Boots for Black Belt and the Adventurer 2 for First Strike materia. With that, I'm having a little less HP, but I'm getting counter effect from the physical attacks. So the trick is like this. Snow has 50% innate draw attacks. If we combine that with Provoke, that gives the user 70% draw attacks, you can assure 100% draw attacks from physical attacks from the enemy. Now with that, Cecil only just have to defend. You have to increase the parameters of your allies with another unit, and with your damage dealers just attack normally. And that happens. And you just have to do maintenance to your units, and that's it. The good thing about this tanking strategy is that Cecil is free to do any action during the turns. For example, I can do Kuraja. Let's test Kuraja with Cecil. Right now Cecil has 210 spirit and 144 magic. So his Kuraja is 1,300, 200, very poor, but Cecil isn't meant to be the main healer. He's only meant to be a support or secondary healer. So that numbers are fine. And you keep attacking. Now, as you can see, Saintly Wall can't protect the user from magical attacks, and Tenola does some magical attacks that the Snow has to endure, but all the other physical attacks, Cecil covers them just fine. But that's not a problem because Snow is a very competent tank to endure that attacks. Or just defend. And with Cecil you can do another things like dispelling or even attack. And still will defend the unit. Now, I want to talk about Cecil's LB. This is still one of the best LBs in the game. For me, it's still the best LB in the game, right on par with Riku's LB. Sacred Guard increased the attack, defense and spirit of all the allies in 74% in level 25 for 3 turns. I said level 25 because you must level his LB if you have a Cecil and you plan to use a Cecil. His LB is extremely useful, and is extremely useful because Cecil has High Tide, and with that his LB field is really fast. And also Cecil's LB only costs 16 crystals to activate it. With High Tide that cost is good to half. That means it only costs 8 crystals to activate it. That's why with Cecil and with that strategy I'm showing to you that Cecil will counter every turn, you will generate a lot of LB crystals, and with that you have a chance to spam his LB all the time, so the 74% attack, defense and spirit can be activated all the time. If we look that way, Cecil is a very versatile tank. Well, I think you understand the idea. The effect of those two tanks, the synergy of those two tanks is very nice. Okay, let's talk about Cecil enhancements now. First, we have Focus. We know that Focus plus 0 increase the magic and spirit of all the allies in 40% for 3 turns. Focus plus 2, the only thing it does is reduce the MP consumption of the skill. From 48 MP, Focus plus 2 now costs 24 MP. It's reduced to half of the cost. It's very cheap. The second enhancement costs only 1 Type 4 crystal, but they are support crystals, so I don't recommend enhance this skill because the Christ are still so rare, especially the Type 4 Christ, so I think you don't need to enhance Focus. Next, we have Saintly Wall. Saintly Wall, we know that Saintly Wall plus 0 have the chance to protect an ally from receive physical damage in 75%, and the Cecil receives 50% physical and magical damage mitigation when he covers that ally. Saintly Wall plus 2 increase the chance to protect the ally from 75% to 85%. Increase the success rate in 10%, and also the damage mitigation from 50% physical and magical increase to 60% physical and magical. Also, we receive an extra effect that is 30% more holy resistance, additional from the innate 50% holy resistance. The problem is that Saintly Wall is very expensive. In the first enhanced cost 2 Type 4 Christ, and in the second enhanced cost 4 Type 4 Christ and 1 Type 5 Christ. If you have a Warrior of Light, I don't recommend using your War Christ because Warrior of Light enhancements cost a lot and are much more valuable than Cecil's enhancements. But if you don't mind collecting Christ in the future, you should enhance Saintly Wall because adding 50% more chance to cover an ally and also adding 10% more damage mitigation is very good. It can protect you for more hardened trials that Cecil's can resist damage now. Finally, we have Holy Light. Holy Light plus 0 increase the defense of Cecil in 20% and the holy resistance in 50%. Holy Light plus 2 increase the defense and spirit of Cecil in 20%, not just defense. Increase the light resistance in 50%, that doesn't change, and also gives Cecil auto heal. The amount of heal that Cecil receives each turn is about 2k, 2.2k each turn. It's like Cecil will receive a free Kuraja all the turns. That plus the strategy I talk about, that the 2 tank strategy, it's very good because you reduce the burden of the healer to heal all the HP lost by Cecil. The problem is again that this enhancement is quite expensive. In the first enhancement, it asks you for 1 Type 4 support Christ. The support Christ are the most valuable ones because almost all the skills require support Christ. And the second enhancement asks for 2 Type 4 Christ and 1 Type 5 Christ. So again, if you plan to use a Cecil, you should upgrade this ability. But if you have a Warrior of Light, or if you were very lucky and got a Wilhelm, I don't recommend at all to use your support Christ in this enhancement. In the pros and cons of Cecil, we have, in the pros, good HP and defense. Even being so old unit, Cecil still holds up very well with the HP and defense, and with the actual equipment he can get very nice amount of HP and defense. High cover rate. Saintly Wall gives Cecil 75% of cover and ally, and with enhancements, Saintly Wall plus 2 gives Cecil 85% chance to cover an ally. That is very good, and you have for Saintly chance to cover an ally and protect him from death. Good support skills. Cecil can dispel, healing, and use focus on your allies. That is a nice additional effect from his main role, that is tanking. Excellent LB. Cecil's LB is one of the best in the game even today. Adding 74% attack, defense and spirit to all the allies for 3 turns is very good and incredible for a tank, because Cecil can fill his LB rate very fast, and with that you can spam it all the turns necessary to keep that buff alive all the battles. In the cons we have expensive enhancements. Holy Light and Focus cost a lot of price for what are the effects that gives to you. Because of that, it's not recommended to use your cries on them unless Cecil is your main tank and you plan to use him in the long road. In the cons we have expensive enhancements. Holy Light and Focus cost a lot of cries for what the effects that gives to you. Because of that, it's not recommended to use your cries on that skills unless Cecil is your main tank and you plan to use him for many months to come. Low Spirit. Cecil has great defense, but he also has a low spirit. Because of that, he can't heal very well, and his magical defense can be a little lower than his physical defense. Reviewing this unit feels real odd because he still holds up very well in today's standards. He has great HP, great defense, his spirit sucks, but well, all the spirit of all the tanks sucks, so that doesn't matter me very much, but still he feels outdated. With Warrior of Light, the light is with us. It changed everything about tanking. Now you saw Cecil Saintly Wall that covers only one unit, and then you see the light is with us that covers the entire party, and you feel like Cecil is just a waste of time as a tank because, well, all the party versus only one unit, it feels outdated. But the strategy of having 100% draw rates and using Cecil as a damage sponge is still good. You can use it with Snow. You can't use it with Wilhelm because Wilhelm, when activates his Provoke, that his 100% draw rate, he also buffs himself with damage mitigation, so Cecil is not necessary with Wilhelm, so it only works with Snow. Even so, his LB is still very good, and it's one of the best buffs in the game. And also, even being a limit break, you can activate it very fast because he's high tide. In conclusion, nice tank, feels a little outdated compared to Warrior of Light, expensive enhancements, upgrade them only if Cecil is your main tank and you plan to use him for many weeks from now on. Well, that's all for this episode. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and see you in the next video.